The evolution of Indy Lights 96 suggests an amazing battle to the end. Three-time winner David Empringham leads the points and still controls his own destiny, but a host of others have been chipping away. David DeSilva has a win. Mark Hotchkiss got Milwaukee. Tony Kanaan won Detroit. Galter Salas, Portland. 5 winners in 7 races so far, and the vision of more first-time victories looms. Each man that steps from the pack casts another stone in the path being carved by Empringham to the top of the podium and the Indy Lights title. Sunshine, surrounded by searing heat and humidity, this is Burke Lakefront Airport in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, host to the PPG Firestone Indy Lights Championship. Hello, everybody. I'm Chris McClure. Welcome to Cleveland and round 8 of the 1996 season. This is a place that has offered us over the years some of the best wheel-to-wheel action in the history of the Indy Lights series. We're joined again by our analyst, Jan Beekes. And Jan, there's no wonder they get good action here. There's a lot of room to work.
There is, Chris. You know, that lot of room on the runways can work for a driver or work against him. It works for you because there's all kinds of places that you can pass. But it works against you because your mind oftentimes as a driver says, I have plenty of room to pass, but maybe you don't. Here, patience wins the race, but if you're too aggressive, it can bite you.
And the fact does remain that the best place to start any race, anytime, is on pole. Mark Hotchkiss has that distinction here. He's won the Sea-Doo Ski-Doo Award and is with Gary Gerald.
Well, the first time he was on the pole this year was at Milwaukee, and he turned it into a victory. Now you're on the pole on this wide-open circuit, and I guess the question, Mark, do you play this conservative, or you try to be patient, or do you be very, very aggressive right from the green flag?
Well, I've got a lot of competition with the 2 Brazilians behind me, and it's going to be important to stay in front of them the first couple laps of the race and set a good race pace because it's real hot here. So I'm sure we'll be there at the end. We'll be on the top podium for the winner.
Trying to make a comeback in the point standings. Mark Hotchkiss ready to get to business, Chris.
Well, if he gets that victory, Gary, he'll certainly be in the championship fight big time. He's on the pole for the second time with Galter Salas, who won Portland, flanking him. In row number 2, Tony Kanaan, who won Detroit, and Jeff Ward, who ran 3rd at Michigan. Row 3, Helio Castro-Neves, the rookie, and Claude Bourbonnais, one of his better qualifying positions of the year. Row 4, Alex Padilla on the inside. He's been second the last 2 races, and Jose Luis de Palma. A couple of Japanese rookies in row number 5, Shigeaki Hattori and Hideki Noda. Row number 6 hits the points leader way back, David Empringham and Greg Ray, who ran 2nd at Milwaukee. Row 7, Philippe Giffoni in car number 4, and Nick Firestone, the veteran from Arizona. Row number 8, we have Chris Simmons and David DeSilva, who won Nazareth. Row 9, Mauricio Slaverio in the second start, and Casey Mears, son of Roger, making his debut. Row 10, Freddie Van Buren making his debut, and Dr. Jack Miller at the back, Rodolfo Levine Jr., the rookie from Mexico. In the points, take a look at it. Empringham with better than a 1-race lead coming into this event, but a good battle for position behind, and the championship far from over. The track, it's almost 2.5 miles, Jan, 10 turns, and it is a long way around and some good straightaways.
It is, Chris, and of course, the most important part of this race has always been, whether it's IndyCar or Indy Lights, turn number 1. You have that huge runway that funnels down to the slowest corner on the course.
We'll ride on board with a couple of folks in this event. Alex Padilla, second the last 2 races. His season has really turned around. And also Jeff Ward, who comes out of row number 2. He's ready to win in this series in car number 32. Coming back down toward the pit straight and the expected green flag. And right after that, Jan Beekes, intimidating turn 1.
It really is. And the interesting thing for Mark Hotchkiss, he said on the start, Jan, I am going to try and get a jump, but if I don't, I have to protect my position. I've watched the video from the last 2 years, and I'm not going to let anybody get on the inside of me. At the moment, he's bringing them up real slow.
You got about 14, almost the whole field on the front straightaway. Gordon Ensing waits. The pace is down, and now the green flag waves and the acceleration underway. Mark Hotchkiss far to driver's left as he approaches, as they dice around to the inside. Will he get there first? No. Galter Salas takes a jump to the inside.
Oh, Hotchkiss is in trouble.
As Hotchkiss has swapped in, those that are wide on around the turn are moving through. Alex Padilla is also involved in that incident in turn number 1, so it goes astray immediately for the man on pole.
And the thing that I do not understand, Mark Hotchkiss did the exact opposite of what he told me this morning he was going to do. He went to driver's left, and he left it totally open for people to come in on hook. Who is that? One of the guys, looks like Ward, got off in the dirt, but he's okay.
Jeff Ward, number 32, who was coming out of the second row, was off the course, but Galter Salas saw that seam down to the inside and took the lead in turn number 1, snookering Mark Hotchkiss at that point, and he comes around. We're going to full course yellow, and we will resume green flag racing in a few moments after they get those cars out of the way. We're in the early going in Cleveland. We'll be back. Back in Cleveland, cleanup for the first term incident is still underway. 4 cars were involved in this, and a lot of important runners. We go on board, first of all, with Jeff Ward. Take a look at it, Jan.
Jeff Ward comes in there, but there you can see the contact. Jeff Ward stayed wide. He got through, but that was Alex Padilla that got in that made contact. You can see that... Ooh, Salas gets through, and you can clearly see the contact between Alex Padilla and Mark Hotchkiss.
Well, we go with Padilla, and watch how close he was to Salas, how close it was that Salas got away. Boom.
Oh. But you know, Alex Padilla has a lot of experience, and that was clearly his fault. When he sees the video, I think he knows already. There's David Empringham, of course, our championship point leader at the moment, and he has been eliminated.
Fact of the matter is, 4 of the top 7 in the points. Empringham, who was first, Hotchkiss second, Tony Kanaan fourth, and Padilla, not on that list, but in 7th in the points overall with 42 coming into the event, are out. The highest point man on that list still running and leading the race under yellow is Galter Salas. What a break for him.
A huge break for him. He had a very nice start. He took advantage of that situation. And what is still beyond me is why did Mark Hotchkiss move to driver's left when he knew those guys were that close? He's watched the video. This is not the first time this has happened in Cleveland. And the thing is, in Cleveland, when you open the door, somebody's going to take it. And in that particular case, Alex Padilla, he tried to take a bonsai move, go up the inside, and he blew all the top guys out of the championship. And he's a guy that has the kind of experience that should know better.
Galter Salas, the leader behind the pace car. Then Helio Castro Neves, who came out of the 3rd row and got through the mess. Then Jeff Ward, Claude Bourbonnais 4th, and Hideki Noda. Those are the top 5 under yellow. Let's go to Gary Gerald, who's caught up with one of the drivers involved.
First one back on pit road is Tony Kanaan. And Tony, everybody is worried always about turn 1 at Cleveland. What was it like from your seat?
Oh, the problem is I'm completing a very good start. I'm waiting for the crashes. I'm taking my car to the outside to the track, but when I'm turned, Abraham arrived very fast, take a dirty and inside the track and crashed me in the back and broken my rear suspension, and unfortunately it's done the race for me. But we work very hard for the next races.
All right, great disappointment. Thank you, Tony. Tony Kanaan, Chris, and you could see the disappointment in his face. And what is this doing to the point standings? That's what everybody down here is wondering right now.
That's going to shuffle it up for sure. Number 31, Shigeaki Hattori, in the Dorcott Racing entry, has been in the pits and now moves down pit road to rejoin the field at the back. I don't know exactly what that problem was. But there you look at the standings as we continue to operate under yellow at Cleveland. Hopefully, we'll be back to race speed in just a few moments. We will be back in just a couple moments. And 5:30. Back in Cleveland, about to go back racing. Galter Salas will lead the charge to the flag stand, followed by Helio Castroneves and Jeff Ward. Single file this time, Jan, which probably will help, but they'll still be all over this front straightaway.
Of course, their speed is going to be much higher this time. They'll be a little more strung out, but let's see if anyone decides to make a move. Coming into turn number 1, Jeff Ward looks to the inside, but thinks better of it.
He pulls back in line and exits that hairpin. High-speed section coming here, heavy braking at the other end, and a passing zone.
And there's lots of passing zones here. The interesting thing that I'm going to keep an eye on here as we go on board with Jeff Ward, he is a great starter. He knows how to run really hard at the beginning of races. Comes from his Supercross background where you have to get it done, and he has a good run. I think he can do it.
Maybe into the next corner. Corners 4, 5, and 6, the eastern loop, if you will. He gets down to the inside of Helio Castroneves, working on him. They straighten it out. Looks like Wardy's done it, and Claude Bourbonnais all over over Nevis for the next position. Third place right now is at issue back there off the turn and onto the straightaway.
But Nevis is starting to build his momentum back up again. He did lose some speed in the previous chicane, but I would have to say that Jeff Ward had a picture-perfect pass. That's how you do it. You have to set it up one corner before, and he did it nicely.
Indeed, he did, and he takes over the second position. But look at the space that Salas has already put between himself and those that were battling behind. There's Jeff Ward coming straight at you. He's had some podium finishes in his career, but is yet to win a race. Third place, Helio Castroneves, the number 39 machine, the Tasman Stable, is where he calls home. And then the fourth place car is Claude Bourbonnais out of the Players Stable. Of course, his teammate, David Empringham, is out of the event, caught up in that first turn incident. Perhaps a victim he was, but indeed the points leader is out, and he is with Gary Gerald.
Well, David, when you're leading a championship series and you've been struggling to protect that lead of late, this is obviously not what you or your team wants to have happen. How costly is this in your mind?
Well, it's definitely very costly. We struggled this weekend, but the goal here was to go out and get as many points as we could. Going into the start, I knew it was going to be crazy. There was like 6 cars wide, so I just felt I'd just protect the inside. But when I got close to the apex, a couple cars just came right across the front of me and nowhere to go.
Always wild and wacky at Cleveland. I guess nobody's really surprised. It's just so tough not to be in a position where you can become a victim.
That's exactly it. You know, I feel a bit like a victim. We struggled this weekend, and we're going to move on to Toronto. We've got a great team. The whole Players team works really, really hard, and we've got a good street course car, and I'm looking forward to Toronto.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris?
Well, we had a good look there of Jeff Ward working on Galter Salas in the first turn. It looked like he might get under him, Jan B, because it was close.